Hey guys, what's going on? It's Max here, back with your GPP update for April 27th. First, I just want to talk about how yesterday went. Thought it was pretty excellent with our picks. I look pretty tired today, and that's because I stayed up last night sweating out the end of the Cardinals game, hoping for something from Grichuk, but unfortunately I didn't get it. So even though it was a good GPP day, it could have been a great GPP day. Um, let's see what else. Let's get to today's slate. We have 14 games, only one early game. The Giants are playing, so we're gonna skip that one and go straight to the pitching for the slate today. So yesterday I actually really liked the slate. We had a few pitching options we could concentrate on and a few stacks that we liked. Today it's a little bit different. I think the pitching is still pretty concise, but the stacks are kind of all over the place. So whereas I usually only like to give out 5 or 6 stacks that I liked on a given slate, today there's like 10 that I like. And I don't know, it's a little bit harder to concentrate while making only, 3 to 10 teams, which is what I like to do. So let's jump right into it. So Arrieta is on the slate, and he is amazing. So if you have the money, put him in and just forget about it. The only problem there is it's supposed to rain in Chicago today, so there might be, some delays or something like that. So check the weather before you roster Mr. Arrieta. Another guy we like today is Gio Gonzalez. He has very good K upside against the Phillies. He's been getting a lot of swings and misses this year. He also likes to pitch outside the zone, and Phillies like to swing early and often. So I think they are a pretty good match for each other. Um, there's also supposed to be some rain over in that game, so also keep an eye on that. One guy I don't like today is Matt Harvey. Although he has been very good for us in the last few years, this year I actually haven't played him at all. His strikeout upside is down. His swinging strike rate is down. So I think I'm staying away again. I don't think Cincinnati's as bad as everybody thinks they are. I know they're pretty low there in WOBA this year, but I think it's probably just bad luck from what it looks like to me. Their BABIP is going to go up, and it could happen today against Harvey and mess some people's lineups up. Hopefully that won't be ours. Um, Matt Moore is another guy we like today. Yes, the matchup against Baltimore is pretty scary. They have a lot of good power righty hitters, but this matchup is in Tampa, which is a good pitcher park, and he's been really good against righties this year with a 25% strikeout rate. So I would say that's pretty good. So plug him in there. 2 more guys here for you that I like for GPPs. Mr. Berrios is coming up for Minnesota. He's one of the best prospects in the majors, and they're bringing him up for a start here. He has really good strikeout upside that he showed in the minors. Think like something like Velasquez on the Phillies. And although it's always risky rostering a guy in their first major league start, he's going to be amped up and ready to go. Could walk some people, but I think at his price he has really good upside. The last guy here is that I don't even like him that much as a pitcher, but he's facing Atlanta. Stephen Wright is a knuckleballer for Boston. He actually has like a let's see here, 7.329 K rate this year, which is not bad. And as you saw, I mean, Price is obviously way better, but he struck out 13 Braves yesterday. So I think Stephen Wright could be a cheap option today, and you load up on some bats. So let's move on to our favorite stacks. In no particular order: Toronto, Mets, Red Sox, Texas, Washington Rockies, Pirates lefties, St. Louis righties, and Arizona. So let me go a little bit deeper into that. Let's start with Coors Field like we normally do. Coors is in play today, I think. Gray for Colorado isn't bad, and I think he sets up pretty well at Coors with kind of like a Cole repertoire of fastball and slider. He has a decent K rate against righties, so I think I want to target the Pittsburgh lefties here. Um, Polanco, Jaso is probably going to be leading off as usual. He doesn't have great power numbers, but he's in play, I think. And if Matt Joyce is in there again, I think he would be a great option to sprinkle in. I don't think I want to stack the Pirates today, but I'm going to sprinkle them in here and there with my other stacks. As far as Nice against Colorado, I think Nice is probably the best case scenario we have for stacking Colorado. He's the type of soft tossing lefty that can get crushed in the high altitude. So I think a Colorado stack is firmly in play. I mean, you don't need me to tell you who on Colorado to take. It's the usual guys: Story, Arenado, righties. I think Barrios, a cheap starter like Barrios, and Colorado stack are a match made in high altitude heaven. So plug those guys in there. Next stack I want to talk about is Toronto. Sale did really well against them yesterday, but Sale is really, really good. Probably top three pitchers in the majors right now. Um, Quintana is not as good, and that means that Toronto righties can take a revenge on him today by launching some bombs in the Homer Dome that is Toronto. Next stack are the Red Sox against Bud Norris in Atlanta. We saw what they did to Whistler yesterday, and I think Norris is actually a lot worse. So Shaw and Jackie Bradley and all those guys are in play again. The Nationals, I think, are going to be popular today. Harper's going to be pretty chalky. I wouldn't use him like as a one-off just because I think that's what everybody's going to be doing. But a national stack wouldn't be bad today. I think plugging in like 2 through 6 or 1 through 5 with the pitching options we have available, they provide upside against Philadelphia. I think that's it there. A couple more for you. The Mets against Moscot. Moscot is actually even worse than Pelfrey, and Pelfrey's pretty terrible. Pitched yesterday, and the Mets today with their bevy of lefty power hitters, I think, will do really, really well against Moscot and Cincinnati. Um, the Rangers are in play again today against CC. Rangers righties, that is. I think the weather is going to be a lot better in Texas. I know they got the game in yesterday, but there was some storm warnings today. Not so much. Load up on the Rangers righties. I know they don't have too many of them that we like, but Desmond's been crushing it lately, and Adrian Beltre is always a great option. I think at third base today. Last one for you is the Arizona and St. Louis, I think, are both in play today. Wainwright's no longer scary. His K percentage is down. He's around 6% against righties, 13% overall. Corbin is a good pitcher, but I think the St. Louis righties can get to him today. Grichuk, Piscotty, those guys did well yesterday. What Piscotty did, but I think if you can stack this whole game up and be pretty unique in that. As always, I'm sure value will open up. These stacks will narrow themselves down with the lineups coming out. So stop by the Slurf chat later on, and we will talk you through it. There's a lot of smart people in there ready to help out. That's about it for today, guys. See you tomorrow.